I know you're excited.
I'm good.
Enjoy this process and enjoy this time with your family, man. We're so excited about you. Let's get rolling.
Yes, sir.
All right, now you have a good one.
All right.
Well, that's a lot of hard work's paid off for you, but boy, we're anxious to get you here. It's Jerry again.
I can't wait to be there.
Okay. Well, we're excited. Hope everybody down there is excited. See you real soon. Bye-bye.
All right.
That's awesome. Cowboys are on the we'll be making a call to making another pick here. We'll be keeping an eye on that, Warren. But go ahead and give us that Taj Washington update, Brian.
Yeah, go ahead, Aisha.
Was he a 30 visit?
No.
That's what I wondered.
Well, because they kept saying
to
get you back here.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. 30 visit guy.
He was a 30 visit guy?
Yeah, that was something I picked up on late.
Really?
Yeah, missed out on that one.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was just the way they kept.
Well, I was reading
pumping fists in the war room.
I think okay, they're excited in the war room. I thought I saw a tweet from some of the the beat writers because they're also doing a conference call with him, and he said he hadn't had much contact with the Cowboys, but that's awesome. What do we got, Brian?
Just want to confirm. Sorry.
Yeah, Washington is a transfer from Memphis, and he's a savvy route runner, outstanding quickness, burst. Majority of his work comes from the slot. He's really nice feel of how to explode off the line and quickly get into his routes. I believe that this kid, he gets a lot of space when playing in that slot. And so I'm not so much sure how he's going to, how that's going to translate to the NFL for him. But man, I'll tell you what, I think they're going to play him differently because this kid is extremely quick. He does a lot of things. Quarterback moves around the pocket, and he does a great job of presenting himself as a target. Solid, dependable hands for a shorter guy. He's got a nice catch radius, and he's very good at tracking the ball and adjusting the passes.
All right, they're passing the phone around right now. We had James Williams, the safety from Miami, just go to the Tennessee Titans at pick 242.
I liked him too.
Browns are taking a defensive tackle off the board, Jawan Briggs, the defensive tackle from Cincinnati.
Here's Dallas's pick.
6'2", 297. Cowboys pick is in.
Fourth pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. The Dallas Cowboys select Justin Rogers, defensive tackle, Auburn.
There you go. You got a big defensive tackle there in Justin Rogers, who is now a Dallas Cowboy. And Justin Rogers, of course, out of Auburn. You see, went to high school there in Detroit, right where this draft is, but big 330 pounds there from Justin Rogers.
Yeah, this is a fun one. This is probably the last one-tech option that you had, and you probably didn't want to toy around with him trying to win a bidding war for him in the undrafted free agent pool because of his size at 6'2", 322. But he started his career at Kentucky and then eventually made his way over to Auburn. Was fairly productive in the run game back in 2022 at Kentucky this last season, just trying to find his way at Auburn, and then ended up entering the draft. But he's got 6 siblings, all boys, grew up in Detroit, right where the draft is. So he's been able to stay home and see the draft there. But nevertheless, I think this is probably the biggest body other than Evan Anderson that you would find. This guy just has a little bit more knacks and a little bit more Power 5 experience. You probably bank on this a little bit more, and still a young player. He's 22 and will be 22 by the time the season starts. So this is probably just a guy you wanted to get and not risk not getting in the undrafted pool.
Well, there's some depth. I mean, to add to a one-tech now, you've got somebody else on the roster that can bring, that size, good with his hands, the striking ability there. I mean, Beamer's rolling some of that B-roll in that matchup. He's going toe-to-toe with Van Pran, who went a little bit earlier in that game against Georgia. He does do a good job making plays away from the line of scrimmage for his size. But, the lateral quickness is there for a guy that's 6'2", 320. Justin Rogers, at this point in the draft, not bad. And as we say that, I want to get your thoughts here, but Michael Pratt going to the Green Bay Packers. That's a Packer way pick right there.
Yeah. Didn't you just call that?
Yeah.
Didn't you just call that?
That's what they used to do. That's the Packer way. Back in 1992, you just take quarterbacks late in the draft, and hopefully you hit on one, and here they go.
Anybody else have anything to add on our newest Dallas Cowboy, Justin Rogers?
This guy makes things difficult for when you watch him play in the A gap. Those guys, the guards and the centers that try and block him. He makes it a problem for those guys. He's a hard guy to move out of the way. A little bit of probably the shorter arm type of a guy, but man, he holds up very, very well at the point of attack.
So the big conversation and talking point now will be that the Cowboys, who have now completed all of their picks in the draft, and they'll head towards undrafted free agency, which they do an excellent job at. They're one of the better teams.
It's about to go up.
Yeah.
But running back. You still didn't draft a running back. You've got Blake Watson. You've got Frank Gore Jr. You've got Cody Schrader. There's some names out there that I'm sure they're going to look to bring in.
Dylan Johnson from
Washington absolutely is another one. They get a defensive tackle late in Justin Rogers, who can come in and compete to add some depth behind Mozzie Smith and Carl Davis. But now I think they'll probably be hunting some of these running backs that they like to bring in.
Yeah, Jaden Sheridan out of Monmouth. I think that's probably the one that I would like to see end up signing with the Cowboys, and I think that's probably the guy that most teams who are needing a running back right now would probably go after, and I would have to assume that's one of the first phone calls. And if you're looking from an agent perspective, from Jaden Sheridan's agent, then you would look at the Cowboys, see their running back room, see that they didn't draft anybody, and just roll with that. In 2022, Jaden Sheridan rushed for 1,722 yards. In 2023, he rushed for 1,478 yards, 23 total touchdowns in each of those two seasons. In each of those two seasons, he's averaging over 140 yards per game, nearly 8 yards per carry. This is a guy that has just been super productive. He's 5'9", 195, but he's still able to find some pass protecting skills. He's more of the big play guy. He's going to be your guy that you can rely on in the run game to pick up yards. Not huge in the receiving game, only 20 receptions last season after only 5 in the previous 2 seasons. But I think in the run game, he's a guy that can reliably pick you up some yards. He's a bowling ball between the tackles. That's the guy I'd go after.
All right.
And he is repped by Drew Rosenhaus, who gets everything he can in the free agent pool.
There you go.
Dang.
Well, Dallas will pay.
Yeah.
The one thing Dallas will prove is they might not play in springtime free agency with the with the pros, but they will play. I mean, well, let's say pros with the the guys, but these UDFs, FAs, they will go after those guys. They don't mind. Every year it's like, well, they gave that guy 100,000. Oh, they gave this guy 200,000. They don't mess around with that.
Lipke had the most guaranteed money of all UDFAs last year, and TJ Bass was third of all in the NFL. That's across the league.
And I think the year before was Marquise Bell. Yeah. So I think they've kind of held that for the last couple of seasons. Yeah. Did you have a question you wanted to throw in?
Yeah, I did want to ask in regard to Nathan Thomas, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask. So, you guys looking at him as a guard? Do you think that they?
I'm just saying there's potential there. I don't think it's necessarily something you just you'd hammer on immediately. But I'd like to see him at tackle.
Well, I'm tracking that. I was wondering. I'm asking where the other projections were for him. Were they projecting him as a guard or
tackle.
Just a tackle?
Yeah, I'm just saying there's probably guard flex.
Okay, because I mean, I just think there's more of at this point there's more of a need for tackle depth than guard depth as of right now to me. So that's why I was just wondering. Like I said, I wasn't familiar with the player, so I'm just trying to get a gauge on what y'all felt about him. Okay, that's all.
Yeah, these are some names that I think could also be interesting that are just still available right now. Not necessarily in the undrafted free agent pool because I still believe we have 20 picks left. Yeah. Gabriel Murphy still on the board. Fabian Lovett, I know you like him. Aisha out of Florida State defensive tackle. Dwight McGlothern, big long press corner out of Arkansas. Yeah. Still on the board. Cornelius Johnson, big body wide receiver out of Michigan that I had a 6th-round grade on. Curtis Jacobs out of Penn State, linebacker. Phil Darius Payne is another defensive tackle out of Virginia Tech that is still on the board. Willie Drew, corner out of Virginia State. He trained here in Dallas during the pre-draft process. Guys really liked him at the combine from what I had heard. More so trainers, not scouts that I had heard necessarily. Evan Anderson, as I mentioned, that big 350-pound frame. I mean, that's something you'll love to see. Eric Watts, that's a fun edge out of the University of Connecticut. And then Imani Bailey, TCU running back. He was the guy that had a pre-draft visit here.
All right, the now newest Dallas Cowboy, Justin Rogers, is joining us here in the Draft Show. Justin, how are you, sir? I know this has probably been a heck of a day for you, man, but a day you'll never forget. Congratulations, and welcome to the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you.
Man, we're excited to have you. I mean, certainly this is a need the Cowboys needed to fill with what you bring to the table. How would you describe your play style and what you're bringing now to the Dallas Cowboys?
A hard worker, a guy they can depend on, just have fun, make habit out there.
I think obviously playing in the SEC, you're battle tested. I know we got an SEC guy on our studio set right now who played in the SEC as well, and Brian Broaddus. But what were some of the things you think helped grow as a player in that conference that you can translate now to the NFL?
Just really taking wisdom from the older guys and just older veterans around me. I think that kind of helped me to be where I'm at right now.
You play with some violent hands, man. I mean, you're really, really difficult to move off the ball. Is that something that you've worked on to try and get that hand fighting, or is that something naturally you've just always been gifted with?
I've just been naturally gifted with it.
Yeah, quick question. Justin, congratulations on being picked. Did you grow up a fan of any team? And growing up in the SEC, was it always your dream to play in the SEC as well?
It was definitely my dream always to play in the SEC. And just, I'll probably say just growing up, my favorite team was the Lions.
Yeah, I got you. Growing up in Detroit there, right?
Yes, sir.
How has the draft been up there? I know there's been like 270,000 people, right? Did you make your way up there at any point?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
I was about to say.
Yeah, are you like letting any cars park in your yard or anything like that? Make a little side money on this thing?
No, not that.
Did you have a lot of conversations at all with the Cowboys leading up to this?
Not for real. It was here and there, but like I was talking to some of the scouts when I was at the combine.
So this was kind of unexpected when you got the call from Jerry. Were you kind of stunned?
Yes, sir.
That must have been a little bit crazy when you hear on the other side of the phone, like, hey, this is Jerry Jones. You're a Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah, definitely was kind of crazy.
All right, Justin, from one big guy to another, I'm not quite as big and athletically gifted as you are, but I always love asking like an eating claim to fame, and I do love eating, but like what's the most you've ever put down of a certain type of food in one sitting?
One sitting? Oh, no, I don't even know. Probably like some hibachi food.
Oh,
it's kind of good.
Okay, there we go.
All
Man,
right.
I'm a hibachi type of guy.
Yes,
that's
man.
the Chicago in you. A lot of good hibachi places up there.
You can't go wrong with some hibachi, man. We're excited to have you here, and this is going to be an awesome experience for you, Justin. What do you think about getting to play on a defense with Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and some of these other outstanding Cowboys defenders?
Hey, I can't wait. Can't wait to get there and show my skills.
All right, buddy. Take care. Enjoy the day. Hang out with the friends and fam. This is awesome, and congratulations.
Thank you.
There he goes, Justin Rogers, your new defensive tackle out of Auburn, joining us here on the draft show as the Cowboys have made their final pick. We've had a couple of other picks fly off the board. Michael Pratt went to Green Bay from Tulane. Devin